Make sure it looks good. My lips is dry. Everything is dry, but I'm looking. Today was a very eventful day. And, I'm going to talk off a little bit about something I normally don't talk about. So if you don't want to hear it, probably forward and skip this video or move on to something else. But today we got the results of the election, where for the U.S. election, for all of my followers that are in the U.S. And Joe Biden, Kamala Harris have been determined the winners of the election today. And it's been a very, very long process, a very long and stressful process. And why do I say stressful? Because a lot of folks take their votes and, feel like they must side with one person or side with the other, or, it's a lot of stuff in the media, the news about violence or just all sorts of chaos. And I'm not saying the news is bad by any means or social media is bad by any means. I'm not saying that. A lot of the stuff we find out nowadays, if you are connected with the right folks on Twitter or Instagram or something, you find out before it's even hitting the news. So I will never say that social media or news networks are bad. The reason I'm talking about this is because the election has affected so many people. I mean, people's lives have changed in 4 years. I know that I've seen on YouTube, a lot of like chaotic stuff going on. People training for a civil war. Some folks, buying up arms. I remember, I like to go to the range and, sharpen up my skills. Being prior military, I like to make sure I keep my skills good, or, it's just something you learn to do. It becomes a sort of a hobby to shoot around a little bit, but they have sold out of ammo pretty much everywhere. And, ammunition sold out, guns pretty much sold out, although there are some guns available. But it just shows you the state of mind that the U.S. is in. And I mean, even outside of the U.S., for those of us that have family in certain areas, whether it be a hard Republican area, or those that have family in hard Democrat areas. It's you're dealing with, folks either standing outside your door, went from protesting to, Antifa, all this stuff. I don't know, man. But the reason I'm talking to you about it, and I just want you to know, the reason I summarized everything that I see is because I'm aware. I haven't cut it off, put the blinders on and ignored everything that's going on. And I want to be the first to say it has affected me. I think the stresses associated with the election have affected me. I mean, even my work week, I found myself with migraines like crazy this week because we were waiting for the election results, was hoping to have something right away. You just want to know how things are going to change. I think I love politics. Learning about it, I think that once you understand politics, you understand that in the past, before the past 4 years, it has pretty much been a job for folks. They don't really live and breathe it. It's their job. They turn it on, go to work. Hey, I hate this guy. Get off work. I don't like this. I'm cool with this guy. It's been stressful, but I'm telling folks now, I'm here with you. I just went through D.C. by accident, driving through D.C., and people are so happy. For the first time, I've seen, so many, hundreds of people honking, just happy, saying hello, smiling. And wow, it 1 second I'm worried about, okay, what's going to happen here? And I want to be clear about something, because if you know me, you know what I mean by what I'm about to say. When I say I'm worried about what's about to happen, or what happens as a result of someone being elected, does not mean that I'm scared at all. I want to put that out there. I know, some folks know me, but it's not a scared thing. It's just, you work so hard. Being in the military, I was, in Japan, spent some time in Korea, Guam. Like, you do all this stuff, which is sacrificing for people back home to have a better life. I remember when some crazy stuff happened with China when I was in Japan, and I won't speak on it because I don't know, what the classification is. But at this point, I don't know if it's been downgraded at this point. But when I was working those crazy shifts, and typhoons coming through Japan, and I'm spending over 24 hours at my job just working. I always thought, the reason I'm doing this is because everyone back home will be okay. Although I will say the only thing that I did dislike about being overseas and everything is, as a military member, we used to have to contact, our home base for, or where you're from for your voting thing, for your absentee ballot. And then you'd have to mail it in, which used to take for freaking ever to get back. And it always sucked that you'd see somebody won before they counted the vote. So I'm happy they're counting the military folks' votes, because a lot of them are in locations that, shipping takes a little while. And it feels good to know that you're actually thinking about the vets. But back to this, because this is going way too long. Everyone in DC, like the majority of people I saw, was happy, honking. It's so much traffic, they didn't care. They're dancing in their cars. But that was something I have not seen in a long time. Wow. I'm going to leave this because I know you know where I'm going with this, so there's no need for me to actually go into too much detail about this. But I want to leave you with a story that I've told before, but I think now is the perfect time to actually hear this. Back when we were working at the job, when we were going into work, I would go on the Hill a lot. I used to love going to, just eat lunch over there. Just, it's networking. I was always there, going to hearings. Especially if there was anything dealing with education or veterans, I was always at those hearings. So you probably seen me suited up on the Hill. Well, I noticed something. Every time I went to a vet hearing, John McCain would be there. Anything dealing with the veterans, like he would come running in like a little back door thing and get in there. And he was always there for the veterans. And John McCain is a Republican. I'm neither. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. Some things I believe this way, some things I believe that way. And I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of, picking. But anywho, my point is, so this one time I seen John McCain, he'd come out this back door. I had a friend with me. We were rushing down the hallway to get back to work because we used our, a little break time to get over there and see this veterans hearing. It was for veterans, and he even spoke up about, something dealing with the vets. And he just comes out this back door, we're walking, and I say, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me." And he comes over, he's like, "Yes." And I asked him if I could get a picture, right? He said, sure, hurry up. So I get next to him, I give my friend my phone, and my friend can't figure out how to take the damn picture. And I said, "Sir, I'm sorry about this," because he couldn't figure it out, so I never got the picture. But I looked at him, I said, "Sir, I do apologize. Thank you so much for speaking up about the vets. I'm sorry for taking your time." And I was like, "Is there any advice that you can give me?" And he says to me, "Remember this, you're only as strong as your allies." Now, in the context that he was talking about, my friend didn't know how to use the camera, so it made me look weak. But the bigger picture is, we're strong as those that are around us. Like, for instance, I got friends that are in acquisitions. I know some folks voted for, Trump because of their job situation. He had a contract, and that's how they're working. So they voted in their favor. Okay, cool. I know people that voted for, Biden, because there was no one else to vote for. They don't really want to vote for him, but they don't want to vote for Trump. Okay, cool. Whatever the case may be. I'm not saying either or is bad. But remember, you're only as strong as your allies. This stuff is over. Your kids have to grow up, make friends, folks, network with folks, make things happen. It is more to this than what you see. Do me a favor. If you ever get a chance, go somewhere high and look down, because you'll find that everything is so small. Like everything, it's not worth arguing. It's not worth fighting. It's not worth it. Trust me. Enjoy you, enjoy life, and enjoy fitness. And I'm going to wipe these lips off because they're dry. For my vets out there, I gotta say this real quick. It did suck to hear the things, certain things said about a veteran that was captured, or, it's whether you believe in that person or not, us vets normally stick together. Even in times of retirement and stuff like that, when you find out someone's a vet, because you know the sacrifices they made. I know now everyone has cell phones. You all have, cool ways to get in touch with your families. But when I went in, you had to use a calling card, and no one could afford the calling cards. You couldn't do an American cell phone. You had to get a Japanese cell phone, and it cost so much money to try to call. And the time difference. That was a mosquito. Don't laugh at me. And I do have my mask. It's just no one's here now. I'm in the open air. But stick in there. Support the vets. Support family. Support people. Enjoy you. Enjoy life. And enjoy fitness. Rufus Patterson. I'm out. Make sure y'all follow me. We about to get this work. You dig? Yeah.